Before we jump into Module 2, the art and science of design, I just want to take a quick moment to say thank you to everyone who's subscribed, commented, or simply watched my videos. I appreciate you more than you know. My channel is small, but I see it growing into a real community where designers, decorators, and builders can come together, share creativity, and learn from one another. Because now, more than ever, creative thinking matters. With AI becoming part of our everyday tools, what truly sets us apart is our ability to think differently, to bring heart, intuition, and originality into everything we design. So, thank you for being part of this journey with me. Let's dive into Module 2, the art and science of design. People used to go to design school to learn how to decorate, create mood boards, pick finishes, and design spaces. But today, tools can do all of that in seconds. This is a major concern for many designers and decorators because homeowners now think they don't need to hire a professional. They can just simply ask ChatGPT to generate a rendering of their dream kitchen and DIY their projects. But here's the truth. The role of a designer has never been about rearranging furniture or pick finishes. The real role of a designer is to solve real-world problems in design and renovation, to bring harmony, functionality, and creativity together ways technology cannot replicate. That's why what the design industry needs now more than ever is a deeper level of creativity and skills, something that delivers authentic solutions and lasting value to clients. Hi, I am Tam Wynn, interior designer and construction project manager with 16 years of experience in design and construction, including leading kitchen renovation for an NBA player, Jargon, of the Denver Nuggets. When I was in design school, there was one subject that stayed with me for life: sacred geometry. We had to design structures using three simple shapes: squares, rectangles, and triangles. The purpose was to find creativity through the lens of geometry. That assignment became more than just a design principle. It became the language through which I understand the world. Sacred geometry is tattooed in my heart because I use it every day, not only in my design work, but in the way I think, make decisions, and find harmony when life feels chaotic. Here's the objectives for Module 2. Number 1, to learn how to connect with nature in plants, the universe, and even in human body, and discover the mystery of sacred geometry. Number 2, to learn how to use shapes, patterns to spark creativity, find design solutions, and restore balance, not only in your projects, but in your life. So if you take a triangle, a square, a rectangle, and a circle, how can you layer these shapes? And why do they matter in design? A square can be divided into 4 triangles. 4 triangles can multiply into 8. Repeated circles form the flower of life, a pattern that appears in the mandalas, mosaic, and cathedral windows. And then there's the golden ratio, a divine proportion found in the human body, plants, and the Parthenon, and even in how we subconsciously sense balance within a space. Most people don't notice it consciously, but the result is spaces that feel harmonious, balanced, and timeless because they were designed with sacred geometry in mind. Creativity isn't a gift you're born with. It's a discipline you train. The more you practice observing, the more nature reveals its hidden pattern to you. Creativity isn't just about producing beautiful ideas. It's about learning how to see differently. I once volunteered to teach sacred geometry to fourth, fifth, and sixth grade students, helping them explore creative ideas, solving problems using only three shapes: squares, rectangles, and triangles. And look at what they built. Incredible structures using cardboards. One student who dreamed of becoming a fashion designer thought of using a triangle to design a dress inspired by architecture. That's the power of geometry. It sparks creative idea not only in design but in every area of life. Most design schools teach students how to design but not how to think creatively. That's why this section exists, to help you unlock the creative flows that already inside you, something AI cannot replicate. Now, I am not saying to avoid AI. Use it. Absolutely. It helps you with a research, draft, and organize, but your creative cannot come from AI. True creativity comes from your curiosity, your observation of life, and your unique perspective. Creativity doesn't appear when your mind is crowded or fearful. It emerges when you are present, playful, and open to possibility. When I feel creatively stuck, it's never because I ran out of ideas. It's because maybe my environment or habits have gone stale. So here, what I do whenever I'm in that situation. Stand away from the computer, take a gentle walk, enjoy nature, visit the museum, listen to instrumental music with a glass of wine, or do something completely unexpected. And almost always, the creative ideas flowing back again effortlessly. Another key to creativity is embracing constraints. Most designers resist limitation, but constraints actually sharpen your thinking. When space, budget, or timeline is limited, your brain becomes more resourceful. Some of my best designs came from tight budgets or timeline because challenges force innovation. Design begins with observation, learning how to truly see a space before you change it. Every rule tells a story, some whisper and some scream. The key is learning how to listen. The first step is awareness. When evaluating a space, ask yourself what's working and what's not. Where does natural light fall throughout the day? How do people move through it? And does it invite connection or create isolation, and maybe feel awkwardness? Each answer guides your decisions, from the layout to the lighting, material selections, and emotional tone. A beautiful space means nothing if it doesn't serve the people who live in it. Study your clients, their routines, personalities, emotional needs. Are they an entertainer or a homebody, early riser or night owl? Your design should reflect their lifestyle, not just their taste. Once you understand the purpose of the space and the client's needs, it's time to curate style. Here's the thing, style is not the same as taste. Is personal, but style is strategic. Style emerges from aligning three forces: the interior architecture, the inhabitants, and your creative perspective. When those three align, your design becomes timeless and authentic. Here's an exercise for you. Stand at an entrance of one room in your home and ask yourself these questions. What emotion does this space evoke? Is that what I intended? If not, what's missing? Is it a light, proportion, warmth, or balance? Then identify one design change or style direction that could bring it back into alignment. Before design any project, define the problem clearly. The problem I am solving with this design is clarity at this design stage early will save you time, miscommunications, and minimizes revision later on. Every design begins with a story. Before a space takes form, there's an emotion or atmosphere you want to create, something the client can sense before they see it. A mood board is your visual language for expressing that story. The 80-20 rule. Hear me out on this. In the early stages of my design, I focus 80% on functionality and efficiency, and 20% on aesthetic, which is the opposite of what most designers and architects do. How did I come up with this methodology? In the late 1800s, architect Louis Sullivan, who is known as the father of modernism and skyscrapers, famously say, form follows function. He believed that purpose and practical requirements of a building should be the focus of the design, not ornamentation or historical reference. His protege, Frank Lloyd Wright, evolved this idea into form and function are one, a philosophy that birthed the organic architecture. Wright's masterpiece, The Falling Water House, exemplifies this principle, a perfect unity between design and nature. Inspired by both masters, I developed my own interpretation, the 80-20 rule applied to interior spaces. As a specialist in restaurant hospitality and commercial kitchen design, I often hear chefs and clients complain that architects design beautiful kitchens, but they don't function efficiently or cost effectively. My approach solves that problem. 80% of my focus goes toward functionality, ergonomic, spatial flow, and long-term adaptability, and 20% focus on aesthetic, the texture, lightings, and finishes that bring emotion and harmony together. This approach meets the client's needs and desires while producing design that feel balanced, purposeful, and timeless, not follow trends. Once clients approve the proposed design, I translate the mood board into the presentation board. Here's the difference between the two. A mood board explores emotion and concept presented during the concept design phase. I typically present two options, A and B, to help the clients visualize the direction efficiently. Oftentimes, we finalize one board by combining some elements from two boards. From there, it's time to transition to the final presentation rendering board. After the concept is approved, you then transition all the materials, finishes onto the presentation rendering board with the links, the materials, the finishes, images. When presenting, speak your client's language. Avoid overusing design jargon. Instead, explain how your choices enhance their daily life. For example, this palette evokes calm, serenity, helping to create peaceful, restorative bedroom atmosphere. Remember, keep the presentation simple and focused. Too many options will create confusion. Clarity will build trust, and trust will build you value as a professional. Lastly, remember that layout matters. The way you present your boards reflects your design thinking. Use the fundamental of sacred geometry to lay out your board. Create a visual board with harmony. For example, you can try symmetrical layout versus asymmetrical. Personally, I prefer the asymmetrical because it has layers, depth that create interest, and balance. This concludes Module 2, The Art and Science of Design. Please tune in next week for Module 3. We will dive into different design phases. design concept, design development, and construction documentation. If you enjoyed my lesson, please like, comment, and share to help me grow my community. And thank you for your time. I will see you in the next video.